OpenAI, Midjourney, and Stability AI. All these generative AI companies have faced lawsuits against them because they have allegedly used copyrighted material to train their AI models. However, the interesting thing over here is that they say that they are allowed to do so under the exception of fair use. Now, what is fair use? This exception basically says that copyrighted material could be used without the permission of the copyright owner when it is for the purpose of education, research, and transformative use. Transformative use being the most prominent one. Transformative use basically means that if you have taken any input, it is generating some other output. For instance, in the case of Authors Guild versus Google, the petitioner had accused Google that it had scanned a lot of books without the permission. However, the court ruled in favor of Google since the court said that it is being used not to create a library but to create a search engine, which is a different output from the input they have used. However, the creators and artists are not satisfied with this argument. For instance, in the case of New York Times versus OpenAI, uh, the it was New York Times found out that OpenAI was reproducing passages word to word. Well, we don't have a definitive answer when it comes to this debate of generative AI and copyright right now. So, what has started to happen is that content creators and AI companies have started to enter into licensing agreements. However, more questions arise over here. For instance, well, when these AI companies generate an answer, you would not know that what percentage of that output was generated by which copyright owner. Like you can't say that how much of how much each creator contributed, like 10%, 20%. So in that case, how much would you have to compensate? And one more thing, in this scenario, if there is a mandatory licensing, then it would be very tough for small AI companies to enter into the market, which could stifle innovation. Well, innovation always learns from pasts. For instance, authors learn from authors, artists learn from artists. So the question over here arises: should AI be allowed to do the same? Well, if you enjoyed this video, then do read and then I've co-authored a blog regarding licensing. Kindly read that. Thank you. I have attached this in the description.